So our first presentation is from Mary McSweeney, who is the Senior Executive Officer and Deputy Head of Enterprise and Economic Development in Dublin City Council. She is co-presenting this with Joanne Rourke, who works in the East Midlands Regional Waste Office, and they're both going to share their experience on circular economy training for small and micro enterprises. Very welcome, Mary, and you can go ahead. Sorry, I'm just being told we're having some minor technical issues here, and I think we're ready to move over to them now. Thank you. If you can go to the presenter mode there, please, Mary. Up to slideshow there at the top, and just
slideshow.
Yeah, and just from beginning then over on the left hand side. There, that's perfect, and that there you go. Take it away.
So good morning, everybody, and thank you so much for this invitation to present our MODUS initiative today. We're very pleased to be here. So we're going to do a two-hander for you this morning. I'm going to start off by just talking to you about why we created MODUS and the reasons behind that. And Mary is going to take over then. She's going to tell you about how we developed MODUS and how we're delivering it and where we want to take it from here. So I'm going to start by giving you a very quick MODUS overview, and really this is an overview of this presentation as well, because we're going to touch on all these points during the presentation. MODUS is a circular economy training program designed for micro enterprises and SMEs who are operating in Ireland. It's an initiative of the Regional Waste Management Planning Office, that's my office, and also DCC Economic Development Office and Local Enterprise Office, and that's where Mary McSweeney, my colleague, works. Really, MODUS was developed as a response to a lack of understanding of the circular economy among Irish businesses. A survey was done by IBEC and the EPA in 2018, and it concluded that just 51% of Irish businesses understood what the circular economy was. And when you took the corporates out of that, when you looked at the SMEs and the micro enterprises, that figure dropped to 35%. So really it's a very low rate of understanding, and that really was the impetus for this course. MODUS was developed as a process of collaboration and workshopping and piloting, and it involved a wide range of relevant stakeholders. Sorry, I've got to move my slide on there. Huge apologies. It is delivered by top circular economy sustainability consultancies, and although they're sustainability experts, they also have a very strong understanding of business, which, as you can imagine, is very important when you're talking to business. We think that MODUS represents the best-in-class circular economy training program for SMEs, both in Ireland and beyond, because we have looked and there's nothing quite like it out there. We've provided it at a nominal cost to SMEs and micro enterprises because we didn't want financial considerations to become a barrier. We really think that every business needs to do this, and we didn't want them not to do it because of money. MODUS is now ready for scaling, and we are expanding our offerings to business. Okay, I'm sure everybody on the call this morning has a good understanding of what circular economy is, but I'm just going to explain it briefly, if that's okay, so that we're all on the same page. So circular economy is an alternative to our linear take, make and discard economy, where we take natural resources, we make things out of them, we use them, and then we throw them away, which is a really very wasteful way of carrying on. So the circular economy really, it tries to keep materials and resources in use for as long as possible through reuse, recycling, sharing platforms, remanufacturing, and so on. And the upshot is that you have less new virgin materials coming into the system and less waste going out of the system. So really, it's a way of designing out waste. Now, circular economy is key to climate action because 45% of our emissions are related to the way we use materials and the way we use land. And if we can transition to a circular economy, we can reduce these emissions. And I think that that's a link that's often not really appreciated between climate change and the circular economy. For businesses, the circular economy means a complete change of mindset. It means businesses have to collaborate more with each other. They probably have to be a little less competitive. And it calls for a lot of collaboration, especially across supply chains. Transitioning to a circular economy will be an uphill challenge, make no mistake about it. Currently, our world is just 8.6% circular and Ireland is just 2% circular. So we're actually far below that average. There's a very strong policy basis for MODIS and for circular economy. The EU Circular Economy Plan, as you know, is the cornerstone of the New Green Deal. Our recently published national waste policy here is called the National Plan for a Circular Economy. So obviously circular economy is in the title, but it's very front and centre of that plan. We also have a new circular economy unit within the Department of Environment, Climate and Communications. So I think that's very indicative of the importance that the government is putting on circular economy. The transition to circular economy is also a very important objective in our current waste management plan, and indeed it will be in the next one as well, and also our national and local climate action plans. And here in Dublin City Council, we actually have delivering MODIS as one of the actions in our Dublin Regional Enterprise Action Plan. That brings me neatly to the economic rationale for MODIS. Now, issues such as environmental degradation, loss of natural capital and biodiversity, climate change, extreme weather events, these all pose great threats and risks to business, our economy and our society. Circular economy offers businesses a way to tackle these threats, and this gives them sustainability and resilience. Now, the need for circular economy has been recognised by global business forums for about a decade now. It's been talked about at the Davis Global Economic Forum for many, many years. And it's also recognised by national business representation bodies such as IBEC. In addition to that, investors are looking for more ethical investments. Consumers are looking for more ethical products. And layered on top of that, we have Brexit and the impacts that they will have on our business. And I think the full extent of those impacts, of course, haven't really hit home yet. But when they do, businesses will need to build back better. And I think all this underlines the need for us to transition to a circular economy. And MODIS can certainly help Irish business do that, and in doing so help Ireland do that. So now I'm going to hand you over to my colleague Mary McSweeney, and she's going to take you through the rest of the presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joanne. Delighted to be here this morning and listening to all the other great examples of innovation from across the country. I'm delighted to talk to you about how we went about building the programme. Joanne has made the case for why micro-enterprises and small enterprises need to transition to a zero carbon economy, and we felt we had an opportunity to work together to assist them on that journey. I will talk about how we went about designing and delivering the MODIS Training for a Sustainable Future programme and the feedback we've received from the businesses who participated. We started to talk to a number of experts, as Joanne has mentioned, SEAI, the Small Firms Association, IBEC, CODEMA, the Impactor, who run the Responsible Innovation Summit, Funding Box, who have an EU funding programme, EcoMerit and Clearstream Solutions. And we also spoke at an early stage to the Department of Environment, Climate and Communications. And from those discussions, we found that there was some training out there that was quite specialised, but there wasn't a comprehensive programme like we developed in MODIS. We also got great feedback from those companies on how we could make the programme as engaging as possible, We shared a common interest in coming together to discuss how best we could support Irish SMEs on their green and sustainable journey. One of the reasons Joanne sought out our office to work on this programme was because our Economic Development Office works alongside our local enterprise office, and through that work we had good connections with the business community and a better understanding of how to build a programme that was going to engage them. So the feedback from the stakeholder engagement gave us ideas on a format and content that helped us to build the pilot programme. It was unlike anything else available at that time. We also had a great graduate working with us in the Economic Development Office, Michaela Ferrando, and she's passionate about circular economy, and there's no doubt that Michaela's dedication, enthusiasm, knowledge and expertise has been key to building the Modus we have today. Being part of the local enterprise office also allowed us to promote the programme, which was key in getting the first 7 businesses on board who participated in the pilot. Another aspect of the promotion was that we needed to build a brand identity and a name for the programme. We spent a really interesting day as part of a charity event run by IDI, the Institute of Designers in Ireland, where Joanne and myself spoke to the designers about what we had in mind, and they went away, thought about it, came up with various ideas for names and a look, and at the end of the day they pitched concepts to us, and the one we liked was Modus and the brand identity, and I think that has stood us in good stead in promoting the programme to date. We then needed to appoint a coordinator for the pilot, and we've been very lucky in the coordinators and trainers that we've worked with. They haven't just delivered the programme, but they've truly been collaborators. So with that first pilot then we had strong engagement and strong feedback, and that gave us the basis then to move into the 2020 scaling of the programme. So how does Modus work? It works through initially, I suppose, outlining to the businesses what circular economy is. So the taster sessions were used this year for both the Dublin region and the national programme, so that any business that was maybe curious but not sure if they were committed to come along and hear from the trainers directly as to what would be involved and why it mattered to their business and how it could future-proof their business and give them a competitive advantage. So those taster sessions were an essential part of the recruitment into the Dublin and the national programme. The programmes then run on half-day modules, and because of COVID they've all been delivered in an online format. But there's common concepts to both the national and the Dublin programme. So each looks at the concept of circular economy, supply chain and design thinking. And where the supply chains are key to even the micro as well as the small enterprises, is that larger suppliers, in buying from them, are investing in their circular economy programmes, and they're going to be asking questions of the smaller suppliers, and if the smaller suppliers can't demonstrate their compliance, they could lose contracts that they currently have that are very valuable to the future of their businesses. Resource efficiency then looked at helping those businesses reduce how they use materials and introduce efficiencies in their waste and energy usage, and then looking at how they could innovate and pivot their businesses, and also how do they communicate this to staff and customers. The format was designed to be highly interactive, and as part of the theory and case studies, as well as looking at desktop case studies, businesses joined the sessions and spoke about their experience. So for example, this year we had Sean O'Hare from Viva Green spoke to the group. He had Viva Green were part of the pilot, and New Wardrobe spoke about the sharing model and how that operates for them. Clina Hoey Del Rey from Climate Kick spoke about how Climate Kick can help accelerate innovation in businesses, and the Ivy Garden Hotel spoke about how they're a sustainable hotel, and Food Cloud as a social enterprise who also employ circularity in their practices. So the way that it was done was not just as a learning opportunity, but we really wanted to see the businesses implementing the learning. So the format allowed for that, and the trainers are available to assist the businesses after the programme to implement the changes. So the benefits for the businesses involved, as Joanne was saying, very low levels of awareness, so it's helping to raise that, not just in compliance, but also in real business opportunities for businesses that understand the concept earlier and can pivot their businesses and take advantage of the huge economic opportunities within circular economy. It's improved their communications and their environmental performance and their ability to measure that environmental performance, and it also helped to reduce cost and improve efficiencies. So the businesses are looking at how they can start the process, and we see this very much as a start where we want to continue to support those businesses on this journey. They've upskilled and engaged their staff as well as communicating better to their customers. And as Joanne has said, there's a growing customer trend where customers want to know more about how their products are made and the impact they have on people and planet. Networking came through very strongly from the businesses as something that they valued and they want to continue to be supported in. And it's also normalised sustainability and allowed businesses to see it as a key part of their business strategy. So as to where we go from here, we're getting a lot of notice for the Modus programme because it is quite unique in what it sets out to do and how it goes about it. We're talking to a number of organisations who are looking to deliver the Modus programme or a programme along the same lines. We believe there's great potential for Modus to not only deliver the training element, but to add other aspects in terms of the networking and the access to specialist skills and knowledge. And we've had feedback where the businesses would like to see a series of seminars on specific topics, areas where they're dealing with, such as sustainable packaging or sustainable finance, and how to scale their businesses in a circular manner. And the next piece we have planned is a series of webinars that will be starting in January. So just like to finish by thanking all of the businesses and organisations that have been part of the Modus story. It really has been a great example of a collaborative effort, both internally between Joanne's office and our office, but also with a range of public and private sector organisations and the trainers and the businesses themselves who took a chance on this new programme. And I think they're very much now willing to continue to work with us and where we will continue to assist them into the future. We find this year there's a lot more talk about circularity. The OECD are working with the Department of Environment, Climate and Communications, building a circular economy policy for Ireland. Joanne and myself have been part of some of those discussions. So we're very excited for the future. So I know we're short on time, so I'll leave it there. Thank you very much.